Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back with another STAMPtember exclusive. Today's limited edition collab set is with Pink and Main. This set is adorable. It's so cute. Like all the collaboration sets, these are one and done. When they sell out, they are gone. I will have links to the set and the set with the coordinating wafer dies in the description box below the video. So this is the Snow One Like You stamp set. Seriously, can't even. So I'm stamping a couple of the images onto Simon's smooth white cardstock with intense black ink. And then I'm doing very simple Copic coloring. I use like very light E markers. I used E53, 51, and 50. I was thinking like marshmallow, because they're marshmallows. They're snowman marshmallows. Love it. I was thinking like slightly toasted, you know, because that's the way I like my marshmallows, or like those coconut ones. Anyway, I can go on side rounds constantly, so that's why I colored them the way I did. But did that just to give them a little bit of, you know, color. And then all the other little spots I colored. Very simple coloring, very easy. I left their scarves and the cup because I decided that I would do some paper piecing, which I have not done in, I can't even remember. I used to do paper piecing all the time. Like that used to be kind of what I was known for, but that was also over a decade ago. You know, styles change, interests change, the stamps I use and brands I use, everything changes. But paper piecing is still a fun technique. So I colored what I needed to color. Then I cut out these images. And for my pattern paper for the paper piecing, I had to like rummage through the disaster that is my office. I was like, when was the last time I got Christmas themed pattern paper or like winter themed? So went through, found this pack. This is the Honeybee Stamps Vintage Holiday Pattern Paper Pack. And I was like, ooh, this pink one would be perfect for this mug. So I lined up stamp, and I'm just using the backing sheet that comes on the stamps. That's what you see me kind of sticking in place and then removing. That's just to prevent the ink from getting all over the paper. So I can like move the stamps around and I don't have to keep cleaning them in between. It's just a lazy thing, and it, you know, saves me time. So I stamped the image onto that pink pattern paper with the intense black ink, and I'm doing this process again with what's left of this straight pattern paper. And I'm inking up the images, and I just need their scarves. So it's messy, because you don't need the full image, you know, you just need the areas you want to paper piece. So I lined those up, stamped those again with the intense black ink. And then with paper piecing, you want to cut directly on the line of whatever area it is you're cutting out. You don't want to leave a border around it. You want to cut right on the line. The cutting doesn't have to be perfect because I deal with that in a minute. But you just want to cut on the line, because if you have like gaps, you know, or a border around it of the pattern paper, it doesn't look as seamless. I'm using Simon's new fine detail scissors. I'm really quite enjoying these. The other thing I do is, you see me, I move the paper more than the scissors. I also generally cut from kind of the center-ish. I'm just talking out my rear at this point. Trying to explain. But this is how you get smoother cuts. It makes it easier. I only use the tips of the scissors when I have to get into little tiny detail areas. But this makes cutting easier and smoother. You know, I'm just kind of holding the scissors almost halfway open, you know, and just moving the paper. So I was able to cut those two little scarves, and then I do the exact same thing with this cup. I cut right on the line. This also is easier too, depending on the stamped image. You know, some stamped images have like kind of thicker lines. Some have very, very fine detail. If you're going to practice with it, find, you know, an image that has thicker stamped lines. It makes your life easier. Trust me. So these were fine. It was a little bit finicky right here, cutting around all these little, you know, these little marshmallows and whatnot, but still pretty simple. So I go around, you cut everything. Sometimes I end up doing it in pieces depending on, again, the image. Like I thought with this mug I would have to do like the handle separately, etc. But it just worked to cut it all, and it all just was one piece, so that's fine. So now to clean everything up, now that it's trimmed out, I use my Memento TUXEDO black marker and I run this along the edges. This covers that exposed white core of the pattern paper and it just makes everything look seamless, as if I trimmed this out perfectly, which I didn't, but it makes it seamless. And then when I adhere this on top of the stamped image, it will just kind of blend into those stamped lines. And then there's one more trick that I do to blend it all together. So once I've added the edging of the black marker, adhere this into place. So I just use my craft tacky glue and then I adhere this directly on top of the stamped image, and that just starts bringing it all together. So get that adhered into place. I adhere their little scarves into place. And then my final little trick is I take Copic markers. Again, it depends on the images you're coloring, the paper you use, etc. I generally use warm grays. I think that's what I used to use way back in the day too, to add shading, just like you would if you were coloring this. So I just add a bit of shading. I use my W3. Sometimes you'll have to go a bit darker with pattern papers. Again, just depends. You gotta fiddle around with it. And then I just took my 0 colorless blender and kind of blended that out a bit, and then that just makes everything look like it was all meant to be, I guess. So once I've got my little characters done, I used more of the pattern paper from the same pack and various wafer dies. I used a lot of different random wafer die sets for this card. I used some SCALLOP A2 honey cuts. I will have links again to everything. I used rectangle wafer dies, and then I used some Fawn SLIMLINE stitched hillside borders to create some snow. I thought that would be kind of cute to put my little marshmallow my little marshmallow dudes into some snow. And then I've got that blue pattern paper as my little, sky, etc. I stamped one of the sentiments from that stamp set onto that pink pattern paper and then die cut with a circle. And then I die cut the remainders of this like rusty red color that was in the pack that I used the SCALLOP wafer die on. I used Simon's mini hearts party wafer die and die cut all the little hearts just from the scraps. And then I adhered a few of those to my little scene as well. And then I took the inside of my card, and my card is going to be another Simon's Smooth 120 pound white cardstock top folding A2 size card. And I stamped another one of these little marshmallow snowmen on the inside in a sentiment. And then again, same exact colors, everything, just quick and simple coloring with this little guy. And then off camera, I had stamped him onto that same striped pattern paper because I was like, why not just paper piece him too? Plus he needs to have the matching accessories to the ones on the front. So colored everything up first, and then I had stamped, trimmed out, used my black marker on the little pieces. And when it comes to teensy little pieces, I find usually the easiest thing to do is I apply the adhesive directly to the stamped image. And then I'll pick up the little pieces with my embellishment wand, press them into place. Everything's adhered. Add my little bit of shading with that warm gray Copic marker. And then this little guy is good to go. And then I had more of those die cut hearts left over. So I added those to the inside as well. Because the outside says, there's no one like you. You guys know me. I love my puns. And then on the inside, I had stamped the little sentiment that says, you melt my heart. So hence the hearts. So I adhered those into place. And then adhered my card front to my card base. And I couldn't resist adding a little bit of bling. So I have these Studio Katia iridescent ice flakes. I've shown these in a lot of videos. These are like one of my faves to use with winter and Christmas theme cards. So I kind of sprinkled those around as well, and then adhered those into place with craft tacky glue. And then I decided as like kind of an afterthought to add some highlights with my Jelly Roll 10 white gel pen. So just went along, added my little highlights, not following any rules or anything, just stuck them wherever I thought they would look, nice. And also added little like extra sort of white stripes to their scarves, just cause. And then while I had it out, I was like, I'll do it on the inside as well, because why not? So once that was done, this card is complete. Like I said at the beginning, this is the The Pink and Main Snow One Like You stamp set is a limited edition. I'll have a link below. I'll have everything else linked below that I used. You can check that out in the description box below. I'll also have it all on my blog with picture links, all of that, so you can check it out if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching, for subscribing, for thumbs upping and commenting. I very much appreciate it. And as we're still at the beginning of STAMPtember, stay tuned. I still have a ton of videos coming. So I hope you guys are having a good one, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.